Hi, I'm Lee and welcome to my channel. And this is the video I had to beg my boyfriend to delete his mistresses. Not only from his Facebook, but from his life. And this video coincides with I confronted my cheating boyfriend. So he had given me this BS apology, BS empty apology of I'm sorry, I was wrong, and I won't socialize with them again. And yeah. And even then, my brain knew, you've got to be kidding me. Like, once a cheater, always a cheater. And he's not sorry, because if he was sorry, he never would have done any of this. Like, it was just BS. And I knew that. But remember, I loved this person. Even though this person just did me wrong, I still loved him. I'm still human. I still have feelings. My heart's trying to rationalize it, right? My heart's trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him another chance. And even I knew that was going to probably not end well. And especially now that I've had a lot of time to reflect on this, like being a narcissist, you don't care about anyone but yourself. All you care about is yourself and your ego. That's it. And in his eyes, it's just tell her what she wants to hear. She loves you. She loves you. She'll believe anything that you say blindly. She did it for 6 years. She'll do it again. Like, you can still do what you want. So it wasn't even a week after this, and I keep checking his Facebook, keep checking his friends list, because in my head, in my mind, okay, I just caught my boyfriend cheating. So he's actually going to delete all of the girls that he cheated on me with, right? He said he was sorry. He said he chose me. He said he won't socialize with them anymore. So he's going to delete these girls. Oh, yeah. So it was a few days, and I keep checking his friends list, and all of these women are still there. And when I say all of these women, yeah. So there was at least a handful of girls that he would always, oh, do you want to meet up for a drink? Do you want to go see a band play? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? So there's just like at least a handful that I know of. And again, if they were just friends, he would have told me. So there's that. There is the girl that I had suspicions of years ago, that those suspicions were true, of those disgusting messages of, oh, I miss having you in my arms. Oh, I just miss holding you up. That disgusting stuff right there. Then there was his little secret girlfriend. So there is like a plethora of girls, right? So day turns into night, turns into the next day, and so on. And I'm like, well, why are they still there? Because not only are they still there, he's liking their photos, he's making comments, like he's acting like nothing happened. Nothing ever happened. So finally, I say, are you going to delete these people? Like, I just caught you cheating on me with these women, and they're still in your life. Like, okay, you said you chose me. Like, what's going on? So then he makes a deal with me that he'll delete this person and that person and this person, but he won't delete this person, the girl young enough to be his daughter. So when I say girls, these are grown adults. Grown. Like, we're not talking 22-year-olds, 32-year-olds. No. Like I said, he's 15 years older than me, And these women are at least 15 or 20 years older than me, except the one girl who's young enough to be his daughter, and I'll get to that. So that girl, like I said, we were all friends at one point. Her and I are no longer friends, but they still stayed friends. They have some sort of little relationship. They're going out, and it's like, okay, well, if that's true, if you're just friends, why don't I know about it? I'm your girlfriend. So he said he would delete all of these women except her. And at the time, I was just like, what? Like, I just want to put this all behind me and move forward. It's not that easy. Especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. All they care about is, well, themselves. And they always have to have the upper hand. They always have to have the upper hand. They have to be in control. So he deletes his little girlfriend, and so he showed me the messages between him and the girl of, oh, I can't wait to be in your arms again. And I don't remember exactly what he said to her, but I remember what she said. She just could not believe that I'm asking him to basically not talk to her anymore. She just can't believe that. She's like, that was a few years ago. Like, what's her problem? Like, oh my God, that was so long ago. And I'm like, okay, hold up. Yes, that was years ago, but he had a girlfriend. You knew he had a girlfriend. No matter what he said to you of whether him and I were on good terms, bad terms, whatever, he had a girlfriend. Okay? We lived together. Like, she was just so offended by this. She was like, well, fine, whatever. I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. So it wasn't even a few days after that whole incident, okay, the girl young enough to be his daughter, and he's constantly, liking her pictures and making comments and this and that, and like, it's hurting me. Like, it's really just, like, it really hurt me, So she makes some post about some boxing class that she's taking or whatever. So he makes this comment on her public page under her picture. He said, oh, I'll go in the ring a few rounds with you. My girlfriend's been getting on my nerves lately, and you can't trust us old guys to fight fair. Okay, what does that even mean? Like, what? You're going to throw her down and do her on the boxing ring? Like, what does that even mean? And then secondly, why are you putting your business in the street like that? Like, so then she says, oh, well, I know. This is how she knows. I contacted each and every one of his little girlfriends. Like, I was livid. I was angry. I was hurt. Like, I contacted each and every one of these girls, and I was just like, you're disgusting. Like, granted, he's disgusting too, but every single one of you knew he had a girlfriend. You had no problem going out, being the other woman, and half of these women I knew. Like, I knew half of these women. For goodness sakes, I worked with his secret girlfriend for a year. She's so nice to my face because she's dating my boyfriend. So I just wanted them to know that I knew. Like, that's just all I wanted. And some of them responded, some of them didn't. And the ones that responded were like, well, we're just friends and that never happened and this and that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not arguing. I just want you to know that you make me sick, basically. So I asked him about this little message. Radio freaking silence. Like, that's well, I want to say that's his thing, but that's also a narcissistic pattern behavior. If you don't want to admit something, just don't even touch the subject, because if you don't even acknowledge it, it didn't happen, or it'll just get swept under the rug and, you know, no big deal. So I mentioned this a few times. I'm like, what? So I'm getting on your nerves because I'm asking my boyfriend to delete the women that he's cheating on me with from his life? Like, I'm getting on your nerves because I want my boyfriend to be honest and faithful? So I finally sent him the screenshot, and I'm like, what the what in the world? He's like, it's a joke. No, it's not. No, it most certainly is not. Okay. And it's so funny because he wants to talk so much trash behind my back, but when I confront him, where did this big, strong man go? Where did this big, strong, arrogant, pompous man go? It just makes me sick. But again, when you deal with a narcissist, like, basically you're dealing with a 5-year-old child. Pretty much. So then COVID hits. And my job at the time was affected from that. So I all of a sudden had so much time on my hands. And him, still being in the love bombing phase, was talking to me every day and saying, oh, come over to dinner, come over to my house for dinner. Oh, I bought this and I bought that. Like, just being overly compensative, right? So, and again, not letting me know that he has an issue with me. So I find a message between him and some girl, and he says, well, my girlfriend's getting on my nerves being around 24/7, but that's another story. And she doesn't ask why or anything like that, but it's like, well, if I'm getting on your nerves, why are you inviting me over to your house? Why are we going out and doing things? Why, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, in a way, it's just like he's wanting the attention of these people to say, why? What's going on? So he can tell his version of the story, So it's like, okay, I'm sorry if I'm wanting my boyfriend to be honest with me. Sorry if I'm wanting my boyfriend to delete his mistresses, the women he was cheating on me with. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So then I get a message from this girl. It's a girl that we all used to work with a long time ago, and her and I are friends on Instagram. And she's like, hey, are you and so-and-so still together? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I kind of thought so. She's like, well, he sent me this message. I just thought it was kind of weird. I didn't respond. But, if my guy sent a message to some girl, I kind of want to know. And I was like, great. I was like, okay. So he sends her this message. He sends these little testing the waters messages. And he's like, hi, beautiful, kissy face, winky face. I hope the New Year's is kissing your butt, kissy face. Oh, I miss seeing your beautiful smiling face. Like, get out of here. Like, so, this is all within a few weeks of him giving me that BS empty apology. And he thought I was just going to be so dumb, so naive, because remember, I was for 6 years. I'll blindly believe his words and not even care about his actions. Like, it made me sick. And again, anytime I would ask him about this, just nothing. Will not even acknowledge it. Not even a denial. Won't even acknowledge it. Even when I send proof, no. I'm just like, oh my God, like, you've got to be kidding me. And then something that just, oh my God, had me livid. So a few years ago, he disinvited me on a trip. So this was about 4, maybe 5 years ago. And this, now that I look back, this all coincides with this girl he was talking to, that girl, this girl, because this was around the time he moved out, he broke up with me. And at that time, it was for reasons I had no clue what was going on. Because narcissists, they always like to keep you confused. Well, now I know he was cheating on me. So one of these little girls was in his ear about something. And I remember this day, clear as can be. He, for a graduation present for his kids, was going to, or, well, he did take them to Hawaii. I had never been, and I had plans on going. And this was one day we were in our home office just doing something completely random. And this was just clear out of the blue. He says, I don't want you to go to Hawaii. And I'm like, okay, well, why not? And he's like, you're just going to ruin the trip. You're so miserable. You're just going to ruin our trip, and I don't even want to deal with it. I was just shocked. I was shocked. Yeah. So I was like, all right, okay, whatever. But of course my feelings were hurt, just hurt. And that was the reason, whatever. So after I caught him, he he says, I want to take you on a trip. I want to take you to the islands. I want to take you to Jamaica or the Bahamas or wherever you want to go. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, that just had me so livid. Well, number one, because you disinvite me on a trip, now all of a sudden you want to take me. What, you're not afraid I'm going to ruin your good time? You're not afraid I'm going to ruin your trip with my miserable attitude? And then I'm like, do you just think I'm that stupid? I'm that stupid and you can just buy my affection? Like, oh, my girlfriend caught me cheating on her, so I'm just going to throw a little money at her and it'll all be fine. Oh, I can go back to living my life and it'll all be fine. Like, I was so enraged. He's like, oh, I'll take you on a trip anywhere you want to go. No, no, absolutely not. I don't think so. Like, I was just, it still has me just livid, just the audacity. And again, this is what narcissists just do. Like, I have actually learned so much about narcissist and narcissistic behavior. I will actually leave a few links in the description box that I actually found this doctor on YouTube, and I've watched a lot of her videos, and it has brought so much just to light. I mean, it's just explained a lot, and in a lot of these videos, like every example that she's giving, I've lived it. I've been through it, and you know, if anyone is watching this and are in a similar situation or think that someone in their life is a narcissist and they don't know how to deal with it, maybe this can help. Basically, when you have a narcissist in your life, you're just dealing with a child. And there's really just nothing you can do except just try to move on from it. So, but yeah, that's what narcissists do, is they just, you know, try to have control over the situation. So I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But I am going to end this video here. And the next video will be just a lot of how I have dealt with finding all of this out. And not just now. I mean, I'm still dealing with this now. Like, this happened in February. We broke up a few months ago. And even from that time, it was just, it was a lot, because of course he's saying one thing to my face, doing something completely different behind my back. I have my brain keep telling me that just, break up with him. This is just not, he doesn't love you. He doesn't respect you. And then I have my heart telling me something different. I mean, it's just a huge internal conflict, and it just wasn't good. And I also have a few more videos of things that happened in our relationship that will just blow your mind. But I do thank you for watching. And if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also please consider subscribing. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.